All right, we are live here. Let me make sure my camera's set up correctly. Okay, I'll move that when I need to. I got my recording going. I'm going to start Instagram for a minute. Hi, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got my, let me just, how do I go live on Instagram? Does anybody remember? That's a reel. What do I want to do? I want to actually go live. Plus alive. Okay. I'll just add this. All right. We are a go on all the channels. We are starting. Okay. So for those of you who are just joining, I'd like to say thank you so much for doing this for yourself. This is for you. This is for you to really, one, if you're curious about Yoni steaming, we're going to have a little talk for about 5 to 10 minutes while people start to trickle in. You can get your herbs going if you haven't had a chance to start them. If you want, you can archive this. I'm not going to do the full Yoni steam on Instagram, but I am going to do my talk about epigenetics um, that I made notes on somewhere. Can she remember? I hope she can. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So, anyway, I had a whole outline for you today that I prepared, and I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and wing it like I usually do. Just kidding. Aren't we all winging life? No, some of us came in prepared with like study guides and know how to do the whole thing. I'm gonna change this music to some more heart-centered music. Uh, Perfect. Let me turn it down a little. And okay. Let's see, the angle's not so great for you there, but yeah, it's pretty good for you there. Okay. Pillow, so we can have this conversation about epigenetics. If you're just checking in, please head over to my YouTube channel or go to my bio. The link for this live is in my bio. It should be the first link on my link tree. Um, let's see. While we do this, I'm going to do a little self care. I'm going to do a self love. Hi. We're going to get set up for a live Yoni steam right now. So if you are wanting, please go to my YouTube channel. It's the first link in my bio because I'm not going to do the full Yoni steam on Instagram. I'm going to do it on Yahoo or YouTube. Yahoo? Oh my gosh. YouTube Live. This filter is tripping me out. I have my steaming bucket in the back. I'm going to show everyone how to do a floor steaming if you don't have the setup, but just get some herbs going. If you're somewhere and you don't have many herbs, go into the kitchen and just pick one. You can even do a salt water cleanse, which is really, really amazing. Um, but right now, pick something that resonates with you, the smell, the texture, the taste, like whatever's called to you. And you're just hearing about this Unity team, just go set something up. What's beautiful about this, and I know that, okay, what's beautiful about this technique, Yoni steaming, It is not a heavy pharmaceutical laden medical industry regulated, they're supposed to do testing on all of those things, but do they? And are we the test? That being said, herbal medicine has been used for thousands upon thousands of years by humans, tried and true, and it's typically with something that works around them. So I have my herbs going right here. Um, I've been soaking them. They have an intention in them. After this ceremony, or this ritual, or this connection with space, the womb space to be exact, I'm going to then burn that and release, right? Because the womb is a beautiful organ, and it releases, it builds and builds and builds and releases. It's in a space that is there to create life, to create something more, to build nations, to build worlds. The woman is the carrier of this. Now, men do carry that combination, so we together make life, right? It's not just us, but we create. Now, I'm not going to get into gender debates and all of these things. There are special um, practices, and this can be modified for those within the spectrum. But this focus today is for women, wombs, self love, and clearing that which does not let us receive that. I was told that for me to be here on earth, a really dear friend of mine said that the only reason April is still here and hasn't flown away is because she has been given this disability at birth. Right? So I talk about in my book that I wrote fairly recently. I know. This is my first printed copy, and although I like it, I prefer the e-book much better because it's interactive. There's actually clickable links, and you can go to the sources and all that great stuff. I thought that was better than just a page of works cited. Anyway, this is my first book, The Whole Truth. That filter is ruined. The Whole Truth. There you go. How I healed through my Yoni, and you can too. And I go through a series of nutrition and experiences. Actually, I don't even talk really about my experience until the end of the book. Um, but I talk about and have researched and philosophized all of the what many pathways there are to health. And the one that can be done the soonest, where you are, and this is the courses that I'm offering, is about teaching yourself how to hear your body and reconnect with you again in a way that's maybe new to you, but it's thousands of years old as well. And it's the art of Yoni steaming. I've been Yoni steaming for how old am I? Oh my gosh, how old am I? For 9 years, 10 years. And at first, I started doing it irregularly, but then I started doing it more regularly, and it made sense. Maybe 7 years. So my kid is 4, and then I had cleansing and preparing my system for this being, this beautiful being to come through. I talk about my story at the end of the book, and at the end of the book, I go into the process of how I was given this from the US military, right? Doctors in the US military. And what that now means, right? And there's a lot of like forgiveness that has to happen. I really wish I had my notes. I was so prepared. Now I feel at a loss because I can't find them. But anyway, self love and what that epigenetics. Epigenetics are everything you've got: your skin, your eyes, your teeth, your hair, your stomach, your heart. All of them were at one point just a ball of cells, and something clicked in that says, I'm going to become the eye, I'm going to become the heart, I'm going to become the hair. And our bodies are so amazing and so layered, these systems, that everything from how you handle stress and the hormone cascades that happen, how you process, like, free radicals or sun exposure, or all of these things, that these processes that the body does, it was trained to be this way through time and the beautiful construct that is humanity, or the human body. Now, our bodies are very smart. All of these systems are very smart, and you can actually start to, when you look at epigenetics, rewire not only mentally but energetically. Not energetically, you can actually rewire, you can see shifts. So the research has been done that shows when you meditate, or when you exercise, and when you're on the Yoni steam, not only are you in your physical body, but you're meditating and you're concentrating that energy, you're concentrating that focus. So when you concentrate that focus, you're able to shift the genetics. Do you understand what I just said? Epigenetics is the signatures. They're like little markers on genes that are in your DNA that say how to be what? To be an eye, how to handle stress, make cortisol, how to handle, fight or flight, how the adrenaline is released. All of these processes are pre programmed by markers called methylation. And the more methylated something is, the more it is going to be processed by the body. Now, you can shift the epigenetics by conscious effort, conscious thought. I think I can put a comment and pin it. Join the YouTube channel. Okay. Once I've got it going here, it'll be great. What's nice is I'm learning to get comfortable, right? This won't be the last time I do this, so I can just let it all out and do it as many times as I want, and I'll get efficient, and that's great. Nervous laughter. Um, so I gotta mic myself, I think. But anyway, okay. So By Yoni steaming, not only are you opening up the blood vessels in the womb, you're calming the nervous system, you're connecting with the yoni space and the organs that are there or that are no longer there. Just because you may have had a hysterectomy or had, ovaries removed, or these energies, this vessel, this places live there. They exist. Your body's programmed to know that it's there. It's similar to, but different from like a phantom limb, right? And when you start to connect with the richness that is your body and the richness that is your process, you build a pattern that undoes the patterns that were built in when your ancestors underwent a lot of stress, a lot of racism, famine, feast, oppression, abuse. And so the main process is to heal that epigenetics, heal that signature. So a lot of the trauma stored in the body gets pushed into certain areas. And so you hear a lot of prevalence about heart disease, about fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS. Oh my goodness. And what is beautiful is the unraveling of that. Not having the dis-ease in the body in the first place, but seeing why it's so prevalent among so many. And it's typically because of the suppression of parts of the self, the abuse, not only that you might have or might have not experienced, but what your ancestors experienced before you. So you carry all this injury in the womb, and you carry it throughout your body about how you process stress and how you feel about it. And we have different stresses today. So we can work through and biohack our own systems by slowing down. And having this the way it is has taught me that I do have to slow down. I do need to take time, and I do need to, ask for help. And that's okay. You know, it's a beautiful thing to realize your limitations, but it's also a beautiful thing to support someone else's gifts and talents. So I'm gonna say that was my worst, but first. No, it's like my second Yoni's team introduction. Um, Thank you for joining me here. Now, before I shut off of Instagram and go just to YouTube into this live, I want you to know that I'm going to include a lot of energy work, I think, in this one because I just feel it in my body. I'm feeling the call again to like just awaken and enjoy my energetic space and energetic spirit, and how I know that will awaken you. So I know that this book is primarily scientific, but I work in an energetic and spiritual way as well. Um, I don't feel like getting into too much of that philosophy. I just more want to get into the work because I have a schedule to keep. So, yeah, my herbs are nice and hot. I want you to go ahead and turn your herbs off, get them ready to get your seat ready. So, I'll show you how to get your seat ready. So, if you are on the ground, we're going to, let me see, can you see that? Yes. If you're on the ground, you're going to take your bowl and a towel. Just lay your towel out, put your bowl on it. I think this one can't see. Okay. Take your towel, put your bowl on it, and then bunch the towel around it. And then if wear a long dress or skirt, I usually wear something much less cute than this. um, and you're gonna have this in your bowl now, over and around your bowl. So what I'm gonna show you is the stance. So I'm gonna be in a triangle. My knees go out and around the bowl, and I'm able to sit like on my haunches, on my feet, on my ankles. The towel is touching my legs so I don't burn myself. I'm gonna be in child's position, like this, steaming. Okay, perfect. Now, if I do have a seat, which I sell if you like, these beautiful diamonds. These diamonds are a girl's best friend, and they fit right over a 5 gallon. But what I like to do is because plastic is a no-no. If you're Yoni steaming, don't use plastic. It's literally the worst. This fits in. The bowl fits on here, and I wrap it around so there's no exposed plastic. I'm going to pour my herbs into here, into the Pyrex or glass ceramic. Well, I don't know. Some ceramics have lead in them, so I'm gonna sit it right there, just like that. Okay. All right. All right. Wish someone could tell me if they can hear me or not. Anyway, join me at the YouTube channel for our energy work and Yoni steam. Oh man, I forgot I'm still live. I was like, what do I want to do? Share it now to say something? And epigenetics. I should have this written down. Make a mental note. Write this down. Okay. Now, it's Jason Momoa again. I was like, the internet sabotaging. All right. While my herbs are getting cooled off, we're gonna do a couple of exercises to get in mode with our self-love practice today and our self-care practice. Okay. So we're gonna awaken and loosen any energies we have. Roll your head 3 times in one direction, And then 3 times in the other direction. Wave our shoulders 3 times, bicycling backwards. And then 3 times bicycling forward. I'm going to do the same thing with a big chest roll. 3, taking some deep breaths. And the other way. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this with our hips. We're going to do a hip roll. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, and 3 in the other direction. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna shake out our legs. 1, 2, 3, and the other direction. 1, 2, 3. This is mostly the hip. And do the ankle. 3. Take your time and breathe deep. Each movement awakening your body. 2 and 3, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. And 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 1. Stretching your foot, 2, 3, and the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and curl into a tiny little child's position. Get so small. Actually, it's different than child's. You want to like squeeze your arms in, like you're a seed. Squeeze everything, even squeeze your buttocks and your toes. Turn them in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe everything out. Out, out, out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tight, tight, tight. And release. And open. Wag. And back together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Tight, tight. Breathe out. Breathing deep, filling the bottom lungs to the top lungs. Resting in child's pose. You're gonna just wag, shake your tail, feather. And I want you to kind of slither up with your spine. Let everything open up. You crackle and pop, or you just be easy and smooth. Oh yeah. And now let's get started. So for those of you who've watched my How to Yoni Steam video, you know these herbs have been prayed with, have been meditated with. If your herbs are too hot, it's okay. Let them breathe. We never want to burn ourselves. We never want to do this on our periods. And when you're doing this with your doctor, I definitely say yes. Say yes to the blessing. So I'm going to test this and see if it is the right heat. Make sure it's fitting on there just perfectly. Get my water closer. Okay. This is not a good angle for that one camera. This is good. Okay. How's that angle for you? You know, I thought I tested it, but I've moved it at least 3 times. Good. There we go. That's what we need. So I'm gonna drape the door closed. So I have the fabric draped around. I need bigger fabric. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you need to really get open and wide, and it's better to have a loose fabric draping, especially when you're doing a live. Okay. So just let yourself relax. Feel the heat, the steam. Reposition yourself. Scoot forward or back. Sometimes you have to move a booty cheek, but you're opening yourself to the steam. You don't want it to be too hot. If you're in a rush, grab an ice cube or two. Just have it nearby in case you need it. But you do want it warm enough that you can feel yourself start to awaken. Turn this down. Oh, that's the opposite of down. It's like, why are the numbers going up? Okay. You want to just be. Take a deep breath in. Wiggle any tension out. The harder part about doing this on the floor is keeping on your knees, so you might want extra padding on your knees. But if you're sitting, it's a lot easier, and if you're near a wall, you can also rest this way if it helps you relax and open. Soften the belly, soften the gaze. You want to feel into your body. As you soften your gaze, gently look around the room, scanning but looking at nothing in particular. Just becoming aware that this is what is around you. Not judging, not attaching, just scanning down, up, left, right. Pick something and stare at it. Let everything else become diffused, but except that one point where your eyes are. Look deep into that point. You are safe. You are here in this moment. Allow your yoni to become awake and alive and with the heat, the steam. If you need to go ahead and adjust or shift, please do. Get comfortable in your body, get comfortable in your seat. Allow yourself to feel what is. Now your fist is about, your womb, your uterus is the size of a fist, roughly. And it's underneath your belly button, but above your mons pubis, right? So I want you to go into your uterus, envision in your mind's eye that you're inside your body, looking around, and you're looking into the uterus. And the uterus has a feeling, it has a sense. It doesn't just cramp when you're on your periods or tighten and pulse out a baby when you're birthing. It actually is an organ that feels just like your stomach and your liver and your intestines. Your uterus and your ovaries feel. Can you feel them? Can you feel the space they take up? Now, maybe there's a tension, or maybe there's a looseness. Maybe it's hot, maybe it's cool, maybe it's warming up as you warm up from the steam. Just notice what's happening and what you feel. Now, let that physical feeling see if there's an emotional feeling attached there as well. Maybe it's sleepy, maybe it's enlivened, maybe it has so many things it wants to say. Just acknowledge what's there. Now I want you to think about the many faces and colors of love. How have you experienced love in this life? What kind of love do you want to experience? And I'm talking about sexual and non sexual love. The love of a beautiful sky with white puffy clouds. The love of the smell of a fresh fruit picked off the vine or tree. The love of a parental figure or a child. Connecting with your humanness and your love experiences. Have they been positive? Have they been negative? Have they been ambivalent or feeling like nothing? No passion? Just notice what happens in the womb as you think of these scenes from your past. The ones, the ideas, the memories that make you twinge, that make you recoil, that make you tighten up, those are the ones we're going to release. Any rejection, any inferiority complexes, any abandonment, we're going to release that. I want you to see yourself in that stage, in that place in your past, and release it. Release that for you for your mother or father, for their mother and father, and the ones before them. Release. Take a deep breath in. Feel into the womb. What does it feel like when I'm saying these things to you? What does it feel like when you're having this imagery of the past releasing its suffering as you open yourself and release? Does it feel like a weight has been lifted? Does it feel like fog is clearing up? Do you feel the womb softening? Now I want you to squeeze your lower tentian. So it's like right there, you're gonna squeeze your anus and your pelvic floor. And you're gonna squeeze it up like a tube of toothpaste, all the way up into the inner core. And behind the belly button, breathe in and breathe out and squeeze up towards the heart, up towards the throat. Let it all out. Squeeze, 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 and open up. Filling the lungs, the chest, the belly, releasing, but the pelvic floor, opening new channels of energy. We're going to do that again. Squeeze, curling up, up, up from the pelvic floor. And it's up behind the belly button, heart. Breathe out, the lungs, the throat, squeezing, squeeze, 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 and release. Breathing in, filling up the lungs, the upper chest, the belly, releasing in the pelvic floor, anus. Now you should feel the shifting that's happening as you do this every time. Even though you're releasing the bottom, it still feels more secure. You should feel more secure because you've released that tension, that energy that's stored within you. And we're going to do this one more time. Filling up the lungs, relaxing, moving the body to create space, and squeeze that lower pelvic floor, that anus, behind the belly button, the whole abs, to the heart, letting the lungs collapse into inward, throat. You can curl forward if you want. I'm even squeezing my toes. I got this from my core, just squeezing, milking out all of these crystallized little pieces of pain and dormant and things we carry within our womb, emanating from our womb, so we can release it from all generations. Here we go. Now open. Filling up the lungs, the chest, the belly. Allowing the self to feel secure in the center, the new center of love we created. Fill into the womb, fill into the belly. How does that feel? It should feel really nice. The flowers and herbs transfusing through our yoni, through our labia, flushing out the blood vessels, creating more space. More space for the flower essences, for the oleochemicals to come into the body naturally, opening the womb, the creation space, shifting as we go through this meditation, as we take the time to acknowledge our bodies and connect. Checking with the womb. Does the womb feel the same? Does it feel different? Do you want to spend more time doing this? You can pause and do the exercise again. Really want to ring out some stuff, or you can move forward with us. I want you to call to mind that physical love that you've experienced. Who were the partners that you've experienced? What energy, what DNA did they give you? Their traumas, their tribulations. Were they kind? Were they a sweet lover? Or were they not so sweet? Do you have sexual trauma and people who poisoned parts of you with memories of pain? Teaching you about people's warped versions of sexuality, or your boundaries violated. How does your womb feel when you think about that? The mind can always try to process it, but the body knows, and the body keeps the score. The body remembers. And if you've been blessed and were not sexually assaulted or abused, there's a high probability that someone in your family was, someone in your family line, someone who gave you the DNA of that trauma. So I want everyone to take a deep breath in and reach into the deepest layers of motherhood, of creation, of fatherhood, and any types of violation of sexual love, of the sexual organs. I want you to start to slowly pulse, squeezing the lower dantian, pulse and release any sorrow or grief, any trauma held. I want you to yoke it to the surface by pulsing as I squeeze. Pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, release, pulse, and hold it. Squeeze it in, squeeze it up. Slowly behind the belly button. Start curling the chest, curling the head, curling the toes, the neck, curling the hands, curling into this ball, and allowing that agony, that pain to rise. Rise as you squeeze, rise it up. Forgive it for all, not only yourself, but the past generations. So it clears the future generations don't have to deal with it. Just curl it and breathe out and squeeze out the lungs and let yourself uncurl slowly. That breath filling the lungs, chest, belly, softening the uterus, opening the neck. Let yourself unfurl completely. Open your hands, spread your toes apart, curl back, let your arms open, and relax. Take a couple breaths here with it. Put your hands on one hand, at least on the womb, and check in with your center. That was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. You can pause the video now, rewind it, or oh my goodness, that was a lot of work. I think we should do it one more time. What do you think? Of course. Now this is rising stuff to the surface. Can you feel it? Take two deep breaths here. Let yourself shift on the steam. When you're on the ground, this is a slightly different skill set. You can still curl, you can still do the stuff. It's just a little bit different there on your knees. Just remember to be sufficiently padded on your knees. Okay. And you want to sit up on your haunches, like on your back, so your feet. So then we're gonna go ahead, go tiptoe. Remember, if this brings up a lot of stuff for you, call your therapist, call your friends. Like you might need the support. Be prepared to journal. All this stuff is gonna work out. Okay, so we're gonna let those traumas rise to the surface a little bit. That angst, that dread, that shame, that guilt. We're gonna go ahead and it's not only ours, but our ancestors, those who came before us, their mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our great grandmothers, our great grandfathers, and anyone who suffered this. We're going to go ahead, let that pulse, lower chantian, pulse, 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 pull the energy up into behind the belly button, start to curl in the heart, the chest, breathing out the lungs, curl the toes, the fingers curl in like a seed just ready and planting, and we're ready to release, and we're squeezing out all the hard structures of pain and popping open, breathing in, squeezing up and out, allowing ourselves and our fingers and our toes open, arms open, neck open, belly open, chest stretch, creating space for that seed of love, that seed of resilience. I want you to start to just feel your body, touch your hands to your arms, feel your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your thighs, your back. Come into your body. Feel the tips of your skin as your moon pulses in this new self-love. Allow more self-love. Allow more radiance to come through you. Knowing that you're safe. Start to gaze around the room. Not really looking at anything. Just allowing it to be. Place your hands back at your womb. Come into your body. Now I want you to picture everything you're ready to create. Everything you're ready to accept. Maybe it's that love that you never got from a parent. Or maybe it's that safety that wasn't provided for you. Or maybe it's that trip you've always wanted. Or that time just laughing and laying at the clouds. Looking at the clouds, envisioning the next step. Maybe it's that sweet kiss. Maybe it's walking down the aisle. Maybe it's that new business venture, feeling accomplished as an entrepreneur. Really step into this. Thank you Thank your womb for creating this with you. Imagine that peace that that ancestor that was wounded now has seated within you. Thank you for taking this time to acknowledge your body, acknowledge yourself. It's a good time to stop your Yoni steam. You can get rid of your herbs on a plant nearby or toilet if you're in an apartment. It's a good time to journal. It's a good time to sit in appreciation, do Yoni egg work, um, any type of partner work. And a partner can definitely do this with you. And they can support you and support your womb. They can hold your womb. They can listen to your body. They can hold you. They can sit behind you. This is a very beautiful process that you can do to cultivate self love and intimacy in your relationship. So I just want to say thank you. Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you were made for this golden life. Ciao for now. How do I end this dream?